Before I start this video, it's just a disclaimer. Anything I say in these videos is my opinion, especially when it comes to COVID-19. I ain't no expert. I ain't claiming to be. I'm 18 years old. I'm just trying to navigate this pandemic just like the rest of y'all. I ain't got no degree in no medical field or none of that shit. But, just got some opinions on it. Just saying what I think. So there's a case going on in court right now in the United States. The Public Health and Medical Professionals for Transparency had filed a Freedom of Information Act, or an FOIA, to the FDA, or Food and Drugs Administration, to see their full process in approving the Pfizer vaccines, and the FDA had asked for 55 years. Yeah, you heard that right. They're finna start giving out the information right away, but by the time the full thing come along, it'd have been 2076. So they could approve the vaccine in less than a fucking year. But apparently we had to wait till 2076 to see how they did so. That was until they doubled down and decided, hey, 55 years ain't enough, let's ask for 75 years. Yeah, fuck getting the information in most people's lifetimes. Let their grandkids read about why their grandparents took the vaccine 3/4 of a century ago. Last time I checked, America was a fucking democracy. So the people got all the right to see how you approve vaccines that are now nearly mandatory to take. If you want to live a normal life in Canada or America, you gotta take a vaccine. And the vaccines most people pick are Pfizer or Moderna, because those are the ones deemed the most safe. I did, my parents did, my sister did, my whole family did, my friends did, pretty much everybody I know did. So how the fuck you gonna sit there and tell us that the public won't see why the vaccine you told us is mandatory for health and safety is healthy and safe till 2096? Who the fuck you think you playing with? What type of game you bitch ass motherfuckers think this is? You ain't got no right to withhold information from the public, and your own incompetency is a pathetic excuse for it. Talking about the office responsible for carrying out the request got less than a dozen people. Are you kidding me? You got billions of dollars and an unimaginable amount of manpower. It's absolutely nothing for you to reorganize whatever the fuck is needed and get your shit done. We eyed with waiting a bit. The plaintiffs have given a very reasonable request. The same amount of time it took you to approve this shit, you get to show people how you approved it. It's fundamental logic. I've seen a lot of media outlets reporting on this, and it's not like they're trying to hide it or justify it, but I don't see motherfuckers talking anywhere near as much as they talk about every single random doctor's pessimistic opinion about how COVID is gonna get worse, even when things are going good, about how COVID is gonna have a new wave, about how we need to increase the vaccine rollout, or how we need to wear masks, stay indoors, shouldn't interact with anybody out of our bubble. Sure, it could lead to vaccine hesitancy to report on this, and that could prove disastrous, but don't you got any journalistic integrity? News is news. Just tell us whatever the fuck is happening. That's your fucking job. And I saw this article on the fact-checking website Snopes.com saying, oh, the conspiracy theorists are spreading misinformation because everybody thinks the FDA said the full process won't be shared till 2076, when actually they'll start sharing right away. It'll just take till 2076 for everything to be out. Oh gee golly, that sure does change everything. Until now I was thinking the FDA was doing some suspicious shit, but it's perfectly fine now, cause we'll be getting little bits of information every month. The fact the so-called fact checker burst in this bitch acting like everybody had lost their minds, and they clearing shit up, as if it's okay that I'm finna be 93 by the time they justify why I took a vaccine in the first year of my adulthood, is fucking ridiculous. Sure, we gotta make sure the world don't get off track in fighting this pandemic, but it shouldn't come at the cost of letting billion-dollar pharmaceutical companies play with our fucking lives. Ain't no way the public should just let this shit fly. I want people to pay attention to this shit, and I also really want people to take the vaccines. It really is the only way to move past this pandemic, which has already claimed many lives, including my own grandma. This is real. Fuck all them conspiracy theories and this whole pandemic nonsense. Yeah, as if these governments that can't agree on the tiniest things have built a ginormous conspiracy together to make people believe there's a pandemic when there actually isn't. As if people like me ain't lost loved ones. Y'all motherfuckers want us to take your word for the shit eyes closed, when our reputable sources give us plenty of evidence to the contrary. And I ain't speaking about CNN. I mean pretty much all doctors and health experts who aren't leveraging you gullible ass whack jobs for their 15 minutes of fame. Just come in and say our eyes are closed, but you want us to trust you blindly, with no sources or nothing. I personally saw my grandma get COVID-19 and suddenly get hospitalized with severe illness few weeks after she tested negative. I saw her deal with all types of issues and pull throughout my entire life, be it kidney failure, diabetes, all types of shit. She would have to go in for dialysis 3 times a week. But COVID came in and it was a matter of weeks before she was in the ICU. Then in less than half a year she died. What, did the hospital do something to kill her after she got COVID? Sure, she was immunocompromised and elderly, a part of the most vulnerable population for this disease. But she could have lived 10 more years if not for you selfish bitches going around spreading ignorance just because you don't want to wear a fucking mask or socially distance in public. But this court case just increases vaccine hesitancy. And I don't want to see the media try and tell us it's because people are stupid or getting their facts twisted or because they're also conspiracy theorists. Now y'all telling us that we ain't fully vaccinated unless we take a whole new booster shot, all while the media fearmongers us about Omicron. But the question needs to be asked, why the fuck should we listen to the authorities when they ain't willing to be honest with us on the 2 doses you already made us take? Why the fuck the media ain't reporting on this more? Why I don't see thousands of articles on CNN about how fucked up this is? Why they ain't fear mongering us about this, huh? Because it is fucked up and it is alarming. It's not normal and it's not acceptable for companies like Pfizer to make all this money and we don't even get to know why they was given the green light to do so. This court case is important. I ain't American, but I felt much more confident with my family's decisions in this pandemic after full FDA approval. You don't get to play this fucking bullshit. Put that shit out or face the people's wrath. That's the message the people need to put out there. Protest this shit, because this shit's important. The media was rightfully pushing people to protest against police brutality after George Floyd, and that almost certainly played a large role in justice being served, but they ain't saying nothing about this. If people voiced this very valid concern publicly, they'd probably be deemed dangerous for spreading misinformation about COVID-19. Just because people's beliefs endanger others' lives in a pandemic doesn't mean we gotta take everything organizations like the FDA do lying down. In fact, this video could be censored, though I ain't said nothing about not taking a vaccine. That's not even my message at all. All I'm saying is pure facts that you can verify with a fucking Google search. Don't play with the people. Let's get more attention to this and let's get our fucking answers. We ain't waiting 75 fucking years to get the FDA's reasoning for approving the product we've injected all up in our bodies. We need it in 108 days. A little bit more ain't that big of a deal. And I saw an article on Reuters saying 108 days is unrealistic because it takes a lot of time to review every single paper to make sure no private information or corporate secrets get revealed. But that's the same line of reasoning the FDA is using. And they're saying it's not the same as approving the vaccine because the importance of approving a vaccine in the middle of a pandemic can't be compared to releasing the information. And that's understandable if you weren't asking for a fucking lifetime. And this is a fucking priority because you serve the people, and I can assure you that nobody trusts you clowns to the point that you can take your own sweet time in telling us why you approved shit we put in our fucking bodies. We saying that this is a top level priority and you will treat it like that. We don't give half a squirt of dog piss about your horseshit excuses. Talking about you only got a dozen people in the office responsible. Blah blah. You can and you are going to reorganize your shit. Move your billion-dollar ass and put however amount of time, money, and resources is necessary into making everything you got public. And motherfuck a federal judge if they hide with this shit. At the end of the day, the people that y'all told to take the vaccine are the real judges. What I'm saying ain't that people should start believing any conspiracy theory under the sun, but the people gotta do something, right? The public gotta put as much pressure as it can in strong arming the FDA into complying with the people's demands. Before any type of verdict comes along, get more attention on this. Make it a big fucking deal. Make it a scene and make it embarrassing for the authorities. Cause I don't know, bro, if all the conspiracies out there, I feel like it ain't enough attention being directed here. It's like people already got their minds made up on this shit. You either pro-vax or anti-vax. Anti-vax motherfuckers just laughing their ass off, thinking they got everything right, but they won't be laughing when the Omicron hit. While all the pro-vax motherfuckers ain't questioning nothing about the vaccine, which is some bitch shit and the type of behavior that enables authoritarian rule. Fuck all of that. This is important. The FDA needs to be told by the people that you're telling the public why you said the product we're almost ordered to take is safe to take. And I just like to end the video off there. What I do on this channel is basically like this. I just speak on various issues that's going on in the world right now, be it COVID-19, various social issues, hip-hop, politics, all types of shit. Whatever I think about on the daily, I'm just putting out there. And if you like that type of content, please feel free to subscribe, like, and share with your friends, and see you next time.